examining fuel injectors. And lastly, we use a cast-iron Hall effect test kit for testing what else? Hall effect switches. More on that later. One of the most important items that any good mechanic has is the correct service manual for the particular vehicle they're working on. One of the best you can buy is a Haynes manual because it specifically deals with the disassembly and reassembly of your particular vehicle. I guess that pretty much wraps up our tool selection. I'd like to thank you for choosing Car Care Seminar to help you learn more about your car. And before you start your next project, check to see if there's a Car Care Seminar tape to help you do the job the right way the first time. The basic operation of the internal combustion engine, when all of the mechanical parts are working properly, still requires the engine to be cranked, and fuel and spark have to be delivered to the cylinders in order for it to run. Now you might think that's really getting back to the basics, and you're right. What any good mechanic has to remember is that before you blame the vehicle's electronics or computer system for not allowing the engine to start and run, you have to make sure the basics are there first. Let's play out a little scenario. Let's say you get in your car, turn the key, and the engine cranks over, but it doesn't start. The first thing you have to determine is what's missing that's normally there. Are you missing the spark or fuel? Where I like to start is by opening the hood and performing a spark test. The reason is because about 80% of the time, when an engine cranks but it won't start, it's due to an ignition system problem. So all you have to do is remove a spark plug wire, and what I like to do is connect up my little spark tester, like I have here, and run that over to a good engine ground. Now you want to kind of keep that away from the fuel system of the engine itself. Now, you can actually perform that same test with an old spark plug if you wish to do so. Have someone crank the engine and watch for a crisp blue spark to jump across the gap. In our example, we have spark, so we can be pretty sure that your problem is a fuel supply problem. Now, lack of fuel makes up for about 20% of the no-start problems, and less than 1% of the time, you'll find that a mechanical problem is the cause. Now, assuming lack of fuel is the problem that we're going to discuss, let's take a look at a few of the reasons that may be the cause and how to check them out. First item to check when you're having a fuel supply problem is to make sure there's gas in the gas tank. If the gauge is close to empty, add about 2 gallons of gas and try to restart the vehicle. Secondly, make sure the vehicle is parked on a level surface. If a late model fuel injected vehicle is very low on gas and is parked on a hill or a slant, the electric fuel pump might be sucking air and not supplying enough fuel pressure to start the engine. In this case, move the vehicle to a level surface, add a couple gallons of gasoline, and attempt starting it. If you're working on a carbureted vehicle, simply remove the air cleaner and move the throttle linkage by hand while watching down the throat of the carburetor. You should be able to see a stream of fuel being discharged into the carburetor from the accelerator pump circuit. Now, lack of fuel could be caused by one of the following reasons. The first reason might be a clogged fuel inlet valve, in which case the carburetor has to be disassembled, cleaned, and reassembled with new parts to correct the problem. The second item that could be causing the lack of fuel is a clogged fuel filter. Replace the filter and attempt to restart. Either of these first two situations could be caused by deteriorating rubber fuel hoses, which is our third reason. Remove and inspect any rubber lines for restrictions and squeeze them to check for any soft and mushy spots or cracks and brittle spots. In either case, replace the line. Our fourth reason is a faulty fuel pump. Remove the fuel line near the carburetor and place it in a container and crank the engine. Fuel should come out of the line at a rapid rate. If no fuel comes out of the line, you should test the fuel pump. Refer to our section on mechanical fuel pump testing for a demonstration of those procedures. Our fifth reason involves another line that many people just take for granted, the metal fuel supply line from the gas tank. Remove the supply line from the pump and gas should flow freely from it. If not, take a clean piece of fuel hose and connect up to it and blow through the other end of the hose. You should be able to blow air into the gas tank. If not, the line is restricted and must be replaced. Our sixth and seventh reasons can be related to weather conditions. Number 6 involves cold weather, normally only experienced in northern states, that may cause icing of the fuel lines or inside the carburetor itself. If the temperatures are below about 30 degrees, fuel system icing could be the cause. In that case, you'll need to add a fuel system deicer with methanol into the gas tank to thaw out the system. Our seventh possibility is vapor locking. That can happen when driving your vehicle in temperatures usually above 80 degrees Fahrenheit. If your vehicle stalls during very hot weather and it won't restart, it may be due to the fuel in the carburetor percolating, which then can create a vapor lock of the system. If you suspect vapor lock, pouring cool water on the fuel pump and the lines can help the vehicle get running again quicker. Also, a weak fuel pump can be a contributor to frequent vapor locking. These are the most common reasons for a lack of fuel in a carbureted vehicle. If your vehicle is equipped with fuel injection, the first check to make is to listen back near the gas tank when the ignition key is turned to the run position. You should hear a whirring sound that will last a couple of seconds when the electric fuel pump turns on. If no sound is heard, check for a blown fuse in the fuse block or under the hood. If the fuses are all right, the pump or the relay might be bad and must be replaced. If it's a throttle body injected vehicle, you can turn the ignition switch to the run position and move the throttle while watching for fuel spray. If the pump runs and no fuel spray is noted, most likely the fuel injector itself is bad. Well, that pretty much wraps up our quick and easy checks that can be made on a vehicle that doesn't start due to a lack of fuel. Now, for complete testing and replacement procedures on all of the fuel system components of your vehicle, refer to the following chapters on this tape.
Now let's briefly review the basic steps to perform on a vehicle that cranks but won't start.